안녕하세요, critics, ratedt t.s.m, and welcome back to my channel. Just a quick life update because I will be doing one in a separate video. But if you're wondering what my university is going to be doing regarding hybrid learning, remote learning, or having us come back to campus, we were supposed to come back to campus last month, but with cases on the rise all around the country, they rescinded the decision the second week of July. And on July 16th, which was my birthday, turned 21, there was a town hall meeting, a virtual one, that I couldn't attend because I was working, but one of the people who was supposed to be my roommate explained that they're going to be lowering tuition by 11%. So I'll get into that more at another time, but let's get into the video that I have prepared for you guys. This video, as it implies, is about dating in South Korea. It's geared towards women, but maybe men can gain something from it. I don't know if that's what you're into, or if you're worried about the women in your life going to South Korea. But this is mainly geared toward not just any old women. I'm talking about women who have either been there only for a year or less than a year, only plan to be there for a year or less than a year, and mainly in general students who are in college on exchange or studying abroad in whatever capacity. So let's get into this. Before we get into the reasons and stuff, I'm just going to give you just a quick rundown of all the dating experiences and how I think that they're the reason, a large part of the reasons as to why I would say that you should not date in South Korea for the people that I specified. First of all, my dating experience, practically non-existent. I used Meet. All the guys are weird. They just wanted sex, and this app was not really for hookups. And I was not changing my core value of I'm staying a virgin until I get married, because I don't just want to have sex or give up my body to anybody. I met one really nice guy. We became friends and we still talk, and that was about it. So people who are going to download Meet, you're going to hear that, oh, well, she found one normal person. But let me tell you about everybody else. The rest of the people, they either met guys who were going on in the army and just wanted to meet some friends before they went into the army. They met people people they were probably never going to see again anyway. There were other people who talked about guys who honestly treated them terribly, emotionally, maybe did things physical with them, made them uncomfortable, and they even had to call friends to come rescue them or step in situations. A lot of people were afraid that the guys weren't real. Even I was afraid that when the guy that I think is really nice wasn't real. So what we ended up doing was we had to bring friends along to ensure that these people were real, which is honestly kind of sad because we should not be sitting around worrying if somebody is real. And the thing is there was this one girl who, well, she ended up deciding that, and you might think that this is not that bad, but I'm going to tell about her story and like how her relationship really probably went way too quickly in a short amount of time. I'm going to call her Pamela, the guy Hyuntaek. So Pamela was this girl who is, I think, a junior and a med student, and she was in one of my classes at Yonsei. She met this guy October 31st, and Pamela and Hyuntaek decided in April that they were going to get married. So they wrote this post about how they're going to get married. They made this whole thing, and then I think not even a month later, they take down those posts, they take down the wedding ring and stuff, and they're not going to get married anymore. It basically looks like. And I'm not going to judge them for deciding in less than 5.5 months that they're going to get married, but be honest. If it takes 9 months to have a baby, can you really be sure that you want to marry somebody that you've only known for 5.5 months? I just personally believe that you should know the guy that you want. I mean, even if you're just adopting a child, you should know the person you want to marry should probably be someone that you've known for longer than the amount of time it takes to be pregnant. That's just my opinion. I'm not judging anybody for any of their decisions regarding relationships, but here's the thing you need to understand. Koreans, especially I guess with men, they're not really interested unless you A, are fluent in Korean or are in the works of becoming fluent in Korean, or B, have long-term interests or plans to be there. It's not that they would probably never move to another country, but it's about the fact that if you don't have long-term interest in being in the same country or place that they're in, why should they necessarily be invested in you? I'm not saying that you're not worth being invested in if you're only going to be there for 3 months and then come back, but People need things that are solid. People want things that they're sure of. Okay? Not things that seem like they're not sure of. Like if you say, oh, I'm going to be a teacher. Well, teacher sounds like to a lot of people, oh, you're going to be here 1 or 2 years and then you're going to leave and never come back. That's not their fault, but that's just usually what happens anyway. So you have to be mindful of things like that. And especially if you're worrying about having a relationship in your first year there, even if you have long-term plans, then you're not doing what you should be doing in this making female friends, which is what I did a lot of. I met lots of great women and had a great time doing stuff like that because I was focused on what mattered to me, building a nice community that I could have and come back to when I go back. Not being worried about the fact that I need a boyfriend, because I don't need that. You also need to recognize that the reason why you might not be getting great guys anyway is not just because you don't speak Korean or you don't have long-term plans, but you might need to work on yourselves a lot more than you think, because a lot of women are quick to say there are no good men out there, but at the same time, women, you might not be worth as much as you think you are. And this is not to insult anybody, but I know for a fact that I am not ready for a good man, because I know that I probably wouldn't be able to handle a good man, because I need to work on myself mentally, emotionally, physically. I have a lot of things that I need to fix before I can be prepared to enter a long-term serious relationship with any guy. So think about that, because Korea, it revealed a lot of things to me that I didn't probably either didn't want to see or really didn't even think was wrong with me, what really was wrong with me. And don't throw away all your progress of fixing yourself for a guy, because sometimes that does happen with people. They think, oh, I met this guy, and then they just throw away all their progress. No. So when you're there only temporarily, or if you're just getting there for your first year, don't worry about dating. You don't need to date. You need to make sure that your life is in order, that who you want to be is in order, how you want your life to go is in order, and you need to ensure that you have a community to back you up and support you as well. For me, I found that with Christians. I found that with my church. Like I said, I joined the International Home Church in Sarang, and it's helping me. And I know what kind of plans I have for when I go back to Korea. Long-term plans, and I want to make that clear in many more ways than just one. So that's really all that I have to say, and why I suggest you don't date, and why I suggest you use the stories that I had as a warning for the future if you decide to join me, or just as something to really think about before you decide whether or not you're going to go into the dating scene. So that's all I have for you guys today, critics. And if you like this video and like to see more videos, please follow me on Instagram and Snapchat, because my Twitter, I cannot access it. So I don't know when I'll be able to access my Twitter and change my phone number, because my phone number messed up my Twitter. So yeah, I'll let you guys know when I can finally post to Twitter again, because I have not been able to post to Twitter for like a year, to be honest with you. And Twitter, I keep sending them messages, but yeah, it's a mess. Bye, critics.